Yeah, so going for the Nautilus, my one concern about the Nautilus is when the engage comes in, you are a little bit squishy. You can kind of get caught in the blender a bit and get blown up with the Sivir, but wanting to have a bit more agency. There is a decent amount of setup of this composition.
There is the spell shield out from Doctom. Down to the bottom lane comes Cuz. Let's see whether this Xin Zhao can make this dive work. This could be dangerous. Let's see how Gen.G are going to handle it. There is the start onto Dura. The Shattering Strike's fantastic though, as Peter is definitely dead. First blood goes over to Gen.G, and Doctom even almost dying to that last turret shot. A 1-for-1, but more money to Gen.G. But Doctom going to help Cuz out here as the grubs are being taken. Canyon looking for an opportunity here, as it is going to be the first grub secured by KT, but it looks like they're just going to leave the next two. And so that will be an objective counter picked up here for Gen.G. The Drake is still actually live, as we did see Cuz, you know, thrust his spear into it one time, but otherwise not too much else going to come out of it.
Yeah, that was a good call from KT to back off. Perfect here.
Oh no, this could be real trouble. He can go between worlds, he can go stealth, he's got a lot of tools that he can use.
I bet he'd like to stay between those worlds and not come out again, but I'm not sure he can.
That's the problematic part. He is going to be waiting underneath this turret. There's the ulti, bounces to the other side, but it's a mini taunt and a very dead Aurora. Yeah, there was no way he was getting out of that one.
You know, I think the silver lining is that Duro got the kill. I think that is the best outcome.
Didn't use flash.
Yeah. Played for Keen and Canyon is not a great outcome of that situation. Doctom will get some play called of his own, but really not as much in comparison. There's two grubs and just the Gwen and the Wukong with that Sheen tower taking potential. KT don't really have a great spot to get away in on this. You know, we've got good vision set up from Gen.G. See Cuz trying to move in through the top side.
Oh, looks to be just taking this. Picking the gap there is Peter.
That's a difficult choke to approach from if Duro wants to make something happen.
Well, Peter just not going to be able to help take this Rift Herald, but can they find themselves a fight? That's the question. Good vision is here, but Duro just going to get exploded, but able to flash himself out. The double knockoff comes through as Galio makes his way in. Crescent Guard to try and keep Cuz alive as he flashes away. That's a lot of damage here, but it's mainly onto a clone, as now we're just driving Shelly through Peter, who does manage to buffer a pretty nice dredge line. But meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, the Winds of War devastating KT, and lots of people taking lots of damage, but no one dying except that turret.
That was such a crazy fight for no one to go down in. Anyone actually going down. The effort is there though. Gen.G now looking for this red buff. They might have found Cuz.
They definitely did. There's the Cyclone. Killer Instinct comes in as Cuz able to cross on over to the red buff. The flash comes forward and Cuz will be taken out. But the max range hook comes in from Peter. Finds the triple knockup as well. Still, Doctom doesn't quite have the damage as Perfect is coming down. And there is the kill. It's unfortunately Peter that locks it down. Then the rest of them as Perfect says, nope, we ain't out of this one yet.
And now a mid lane tier 1 is going to be the reward at the back of that play.
This could swing the goal completely back.
100%. And this is, you know, Doctom getting the value, isn't it?
And Chovy wants to defend this turret, but I don't think he's going to be able to do so. And I don't think Perfect can defend this one either. So that will go down. A 1-for-1 trade, but inner worth more than the outer.
Yeah, KT have the river control now and will pick up that Scuttle Crab. I think it's safer just to play for the Dragon. I think that's the correct call. And if you win the Dragon fight, go for the Arakan.
That might be the option that they're going to look at here, as Winds of War going wide, Shattering Strike not finding the mark, as KT have started off this Dragon. Perfect on a great flank angle here at the same time as the rest of Gen.G all just grouped up. There's the flash in from Canyon, finds the Cyclone, but out goes BDD. The Drake still amongst it, Keen getting down there as well. Hasn't quite pressed the Gwen's immune button, as Peter just takes a lot of his health bar, but not too much more, as there's a Magnus Storm to come in. The heroic entrance comes down as well. It's Perfect that locks down the Dragon, but can they stay alive in this fight, as Cuz is looking for Keen, and he does manage to take him out. Doctom still pretty high on the health bar, but it's Peter that's going to be taken out first, followed immediately by Canyon, as now Perfect dives into stealth. The flash out there from Ruler, but they are now on the wrong side of the rift, and Gen.G in a really awkward position. The Chovy finds the big taunt. This is the Chovy position, but still, he is going down so incredibly low, and not this time Chovy. This time it's BDD having that last laugh, and KT will crush them.
But they've lost so much, and they have nothing left. No more gas in the tank. So KT can charge forward and finish them off. It gets a little bit messy, but his spell shield from Doctom was so big. He goes down, but he's able to trade with Ruler. and that means they can clean up the fight.
I really loved how PDD played that as well, using Tibbers to make sure that they're not hiding in any brushes either as they move their way into their jungle.
They need to approach from different directions, and apparently they need to stop Baron.
Well, that is exactly what they're going to do, as Peter does find a hook here onto Dura. Let's see whether they do turn, as Canyon and Ruler are sticking on this Baron for quite some time. Keen on a flank angle. There's the Magnet Storm from Dura that brings him in. Ruler with the killer instinct, but he immediately just gets ulted by everyone. Still, the Sivir is going to go down, and Gen.G find their mark. Perfect is now in so much trouble as Cuz trying to deal with Keen. The flash out from Perfect is exactly that, though, and he takes down the Gwen. Still, BDD cannot stand up to Chovy, who seems immune to taking damage in that particular matchup, and it's messy. KT stopped the Baron, but that is nowhere near as clean as what we saw from last fight. And that is likely what KT gonna fight for next. As okay, instead it's Gen.G that starts off the fight. Some needlework, but Peter's still pretty healthy. Chovy making his way in. The Winds of War come down. There is Duro with the Magnet Storm on the only one is BDD. Finds the Blackwood. Ruler is executed! And the Between Worlds is gorgeous here for Pip. Perfect as well. Still the three-man taunt. And Chovy just showing that it's real difficult to kill this Galio. But kill him they will, as KT look to ace them again. Chovy's still going to try and get out of here, but Perfect should be able to tidy this one up. And KT, they can take themselves Soul Point, and they can crush some turrets if they'd like.
Dokdam once again survives for just way too long. The Galio incapable of finishing him off, and KT clutch another fight.
Still, they are going to group up, move in. And Keen looking for that flank angle one more time. They dive in. The Magnet Storm's fantastic. As here's the Wombo combo out of Gen.G. And the Sivir goes down first. Ruler will soon to follow, though, as Canyon's also dead. They've taken out the Rel at the same time, and the KT War Machine will not be stopped here today. Chovy just has to watch as they all destroy his teammates. And KT can just take a Baron. I will. But he almost dies to the Baron. Doesn't actually do so. It's Cuz in this pit by himself. And we'll see whether he waits the couple of seconds to give this over to... No, he didn't. He gave it to Dokdam and not BDD. It's now ticking towards 1,000 gold as far as this Rebel Baron power play. And still 2 minutes on the clock. Dokdam now moving into this mid lane. Will be able to take down this inner turret. That'll be the first.
Doing so much work in these fights. And the Aurora is just monstrous. You know, that lead on the Aurora is so much more relevant than that lead on the Galio.
Oh, God. Boomerang Blade really doing work here as Keen bouncing around Perfect, who's in a slightly uncomfortable position. Still able to just be tricksy. Gets out of the way of the Gwen. Now the inner turret is going to fall as Duro in so much trouble. Look at Peter. He is walking with such authority right now for KT. Yeah, but look at this. They just can't do anything about it, and it's such a problem because most of the time an Aurora cannot stand by herself and fend off a 1v1 situation, right? Like, it's just not a thing that she can do. But she's so incredibly fed that there is nothing Gen.G can do about it. BDD spotting him out perfectly here. Does have flash available as well as he is charging this stun. He will have it up. As now Keen mega cones to get on over towards Perfect and Peter. The needlework has come on through there as there's the interrupt onto Chovy. I don't know whether he's exactly the target that they're looking for as Keen goes golden right in the middle of the fight. The Magnet Storm is onto everyone, and now Ruler has a huge shield as he gets into the back line. They've wiped out BDD. The flash out from Perfect. He's not offering the damage anymore. And KT! Oh, it was looking so good until it wasn't.
After all that, Gen.G finally get that Perfect engaged. The AoE comes in, and I think they're just looking to end the game. Perfect, long death timers and his teammates. I think it might not be enough. There's just one minion wave coming in now, but there's another coming in soon. I think they can do it. I think they can end.
Oh, God, we'll see whether Perfect can hold this off. But like you say, it's going to be such a difficulty. He's on the broomstick, looking to deal with the minions. Does a decent job at that. And there are super creeps as well, but here is another minion wave like you're talking about, and these structures do not last. And out of the jaws of defeat, Gen.G say no. You're going to have to try better than that, KT.
Make a lot more progress than if you just to run at them.
You can also Tempered Fate your own team to avoid Mega Inferno Bomb damage.
It is
which would be pretty funny. Never seen it before, don't even know whether it would necessarily be a good idea.
And in fairness, I think if they get triple Grubs here, they're pretty happy overall.
Yeah, honestly, Grubs, very, very good for this composition.
Yeah. But Gen.G responding well, I think, to this mid lane pressure that KT are consistently trying to apply.
So Cuz will be able to finish this one off. It is going to be a Cloud coming up next, so sad for me, but there's no Cloud Soul. it could be an Infernal, Mountain, something like that. Could also be another Chemtech, which would be worrying. This is a Ziggs game, so, I mean, Orcs is going to be paying attention, so we can't really blame him for
I want it to be an Infernal, I really do.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that would be pretty peak. All right, Ghoulie Wall goes down, that's going to block Duro. And cease and desist, and I think Perfect is going to acquiesce. And where have we seen this play before? Yes, it was last game. Makes more sense to go for this one that does give you that little bit more durability as the flash forward into the Solar Flare here. Zenith Blade will connect. Tempered Fate is going to buy Duro a little bit of time, but I don't know whether it's going to save him. As never mind, they get over the wall though, and there it is. Doctor Arm hits him with that water balloon, and down goes Brad. Yeah.
So, look, I can't sit here and say I would have made that choice. I would have died there, but I respect it.
Sometimes it's worth it, but maybe this isn't for Chovy as Peter goes in. Chovy actually still with Flash, so never mind. He was absolutely fine the whole time. Oh, okay. Well, there is still a turret here as the minefield goes down. Canyon is definitely dead, and Dr. Arm will be taken out by the Dawning Shadow, but I think he's okay with it. Trading that 1-for-1.
Yeah, good chain around there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get away from the ult from Ruler, so it's a 1-for-1, but Jungler dead.
All right, another kennel goes down here as Cuz just needed to press out on anyone to try and keep himself healthy, and down he will go. Tempered Fate over the wall, just predicting the flash, because doesn't press the button. And KT kind of dropping the ball in that particular moment.
Bit of a disaster to take down the enemy jungler and then lose out on the Dragon. Ruler and Duro just running Cuz down. Unable to get in range of either of them to really get any healing from that Sundered Sky. And it's one of those moments where you're like, kind of, do I need the flash? Do I need the flash? And in the moment, you're like, I'm just going to flash. I don't want to risk it.
And I think I respect that.
Kind of feel the regret afterwards. First tower taken by Ziggs, though. Doesn't even need the wave. It's on the back of his Ziggs.
Be a big one. And with the Rift Herald going down, they're actually going to even things out when it comes to these objectives as well. So feats of strength still on the cards for KT. Even though Gen.G just need to focus on getting this next dragon if they want to take that one down for themselves as well. But that could be where the next fight is. Only 500 gold in it between these two squads. So nothing much at all. And I feel a little bit better for what KT can actually make with this composition later on in the game. It is a little finicky. It is not necessarily like your very standard team fighting and the Mega Cone, because of course it is a Chemtech Soul again. Okay, Keen in so much trouble. The Zenith Blade says that's a dead Ambassador. Chovy now trying to run his way out, and he will be able to do so with the Phase Rush, because at least then there's a reason. Okay, Duro in a whole host of trouble. Mega Inferno. Oh, okay! Oh, what? Okay, well, Dr. I guess, can just say goodbye to...
Now looking for this mid-tower.
All right, Chovy in the Ghoulie Wall as the Maiden getting involved as well. Hextech Minefield comes on through because just going to ride Shelly into that turret. Will be able to take it down. Minute and a half on this Chemtech Dragon. Ruler is hit by a bouncing bomb and an ult. He is just dead, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they both...
Okay, well, now he just walks up, takes a turret shot, and maybe the Ziggs isn't even going to hit him as the bouncing bomb is going to go wide, but the Zenith Blade is still going to connect. He places Mega Inferno Bomb! And that is a strike if ever I've seen one! Takes over the game performance from the champion. Because I think as soon as that happens, people are going to stand up and recognize we're going to start seeing Ziggs bans, because this champion is in a pretty ridiculous spot right now as down goes the turret. Thus is the way of the Ziggs, to allow them to secure it without a fight here. As the Cosmic Binding is so good there from Duro. Peter taking a lot of damage as he does make his way out with that magical journey. Mega Cones to get back to the rest of the team as well. As Canyon makes his way over the wall as Perfect on a flank angle. Ruler taking so much damage. So this Ziggs is a monster, and oh my goodness, that wasn't even the sweet spot, and Ruler is almost dead, but he's not, and gets the piercing darkness out. The Ziggs is still popping off though as Canyon down so incredibly low, and it is a bloodbath once again in this mid game as KT take over.
Decimation from KT then.
And yeah,
no, I'm excited to see this. He's going through again.
All right, there we go. Seismic Shove gonna miss. And so Duro's out of there. There is an inhibited turret that was taken in the mid lane. That happened as well. As we've got pings onto the Ziggs from his own team. They're like, what the heck is going on? As the Ghoulie Wall is just gonna trap Keen in here perpetually. And finally, we are going to see this Arakan go down as the Maiden was helping Cuz. Yeah, Perfect's like, yeah, dude, I'm helping you out. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
I do need to ask you now, is this your favorite game of the year so far?
I think it might be.
Okay, well, the public execution onto Perfect here. He's looking to see whether he can keep himself alive, but he can't. As once again, just going to get picked off because with a casual subjugate, but otherwise not too much going to occur. They're Trundle over here. Peter is clearing out some vision as Perfect can get that Ghoulie wall in to try and stop this. Canyon's out of the pit already, looking for a flank angle as they do peel away. And Perfect does spot out Canyon there with that Morning Mist. As in goes Peter, actually. Mega Inferno Bomb just misses everything entirely. And Peter does have to try and get out of there, but he's not going to be able to. And look at the sad Satchel, just explodes without doing anything in Peter's life. Yep, Kennel goes down, Chovy able to walk around it as Perfect is making his way in. 50% health on the Drake. The KT are looking for the fight. Tempered Fate does absolutely nothing, as there is a Drake secured for Gen.G. That is Soul Point available, but can they keep themselves alive and find the team fight? Mega Inferno Bomb onto 3 is gigantic. Flash out from Canyon Keen, now being that Soul frontline. And Gen.G just holding them at bay, and the catch onto Perfect is too good! And Gen.G are able to eviscerate him. Now it's Canyon that makes his way forward. It's ambitious, but it's working! Chovy taking a lot of damage, but dishing out way more. It's a double kill as the Ziggs goes down! And out goes BDD as the last man standing.
Once again, KT in control, but they fumble it in a critical team fight. BDD looking for a pick, the flash in!
Oh my goodness, Chovy just getting on top of him here as BDD really wants to thread the volley. That looked a little bit like tilt as he goes down, and the ace is completed for Gen.G.
Baron going to be the reward as well, and now consistently the most KT you can ever imagine. It's just, they're always KT.
They really are. A bit fiendish as well as BDD, as we can see in the inventory, as in goes Canyon, looks for that backline as they're looking to just execute Doctom, but that's a great satchel still. It's a trade of a buy for a Doctom, and Doctom was so much more important. Ruler is still standing here as Cuz just walking away. Ruler deals with the turret, and Gen.G, I think they have just found their window to take over this game completely.
Gonna be able to push up mid here with the Baron as well. Not really enough wave clear from these two to do much against them. The two melee champions cannot step up against this 4-man from Gen.G. The CC would just mean insta-death. They'll take this mid inhibitor, probably back off after this, but the lead now, we saw so much of this game defined by a 2,000, maybe 3,000 at most gold lead. 8,000 lead for Gen.G at this point.
Mega Inferno Bomb in if you do manage to cheat some vision of the area, as KT are at least going to be able to slink their way over. And so Peter looking for an engage angle. Zenith Blade does bring him in. It's the Bard that actually locks this one down, as there is Canyon finding his way in. Tempered Fate to allow them to reposition. Canyon survives somehow! And Gen.G with the Chemtech Soul! And they were now able to march into the enemy base, and once again it is just BDD left alive. That was illegal, Canyon. Like, why is he still alive?
Saved by his team, the support's there from Gen.G and KT, not as close as the last one, but 2 games where they were in a winning position, a commanding position, but unable to close it out. Gen.G unrelenting, it feels like, in KT. A lot of hopes, unfortunately, dashed in this series.
Oh, man. And we thought that it was a sad one last time around for KT, but that was sad because it looked like there was no hope. And the problem with this one is it looked like there was hope until it was absolutely gone. Peter goes in once again because he needs to try desperately to do something. BDD does the same thing, but the Nexus is still going to reach the same fate. Gen.G, a 2-0 over KT that could have just as easily been a 0-2.
You just can't play the game.
Yeah, this is actually like a pretty massive draft gap, honestly, for the DN Freaks. I think he's just going to walk on over himself. That's going to push the Poppy away, and the Raptors are going to be started here, as Pioshik does make his way in, doesn't find the stun with the heroic charge. It's the seismic shove onto 2! And oh god, we were saying they need to get a good start, and this is what it looks like! As Lucid gets the big old shield, it's not quite enough! Another auto will do it though, and that is a 2-for-1 in favor of DK! In the mid lane and the jungle, Vitalia is such a devastating combo, especially when it gets off to a good start, and that's exactly what has happened. 1-0-1 here for the Talia, pummeled under the turret over and over again.
Yeah,
Beryl?
Not really any recourse at the moment.
Beryl's holding the minions, so that Dudu not going to be able to deal with this. Chains of Corruption comes in, it's oh no, they just take a pot shot, and there it is. The duo kill has never looked so easy underneath this turret. Life and Berserker trying to return the favor, but it...
Right? The Berserker and Life don't want to, so they leave Dudu with that play, but he doesn't want to lane against them either. It's just unfun to play against, so...
Well, at least Dudu can hold up his pants really effectively.
That you dive me.
Well, Bulldog is going to turn up as well, so he is going to acquiesce, but they still lose the first turret. So...
But I mean, she got a lot of CS, a lot of farm, a lot of XP, did buy some time. Just a very funny interaction. It was odd. Very goofy passage of play. But yeah, in the end, do get a trade of turrets, but because also very early second dragon going to be picked up here.
Yeah, so they're going to grab second dragon, and the thing that I was quizzical about, right, was the fact that I think that turret was definitely going to go down anyway. Bulldog headed up there as Beryl is just consistently like keeping Cho'Gath on a leash.
Haven't typically been a turnaroundy team. They've been a win early on and then...
All right. Oh, man, that was so sick. But still, it is aiming falling down. And a stolen kill there by Beryl at the same time. By stolen, I mean, maybe he deserved it. Is Bulldog going to get roared at here? Just making sure they keep him supervisated, as you would say. Here on this top side, as the Bolt Breaker comes on in. And it's a little bit of a Cho'Gath breaker. As Seismic Shove goes a little bit wide. It is Bully the top lane today. As the Zombie Scion should be able to at least deal with these minions, but the turret is likely to still go down. This Drake is going to go down, though. That's going to give DNF a bit more money into those coffers, and we'll be able to help even out things when it comes to the gold. But there are feats of strength over to
It feels kind of personal.
Yeah, it's real tough. Some extra plate gold actually going over to DNF to the tune of about 250, so not too bad. Pulling some money out of the structures. Still, DK going to be able to trade back as far as turrets are concerned. Ability to go fast. Shirelius is done. He's also got the mantra to inspire as well. Chains of Corruption is going to fly on forward. Does get a snare. Seismic Shove comes down as well. And there goes the Cho'Gath. He's supposed to be tanky, but it doesn't quite work out that way as life is going to get taken out. And Pureshik says, that's enough. And DK say, all right.
I feel like DNF posturing ready for, well, I guess not ready in truth for the fight. And D+ pull the trigger and just obliterate the front line of this team.
Ignite or exhaust or something like that you have to do sometimes. Berserker just able to press these buttons, get a little bit of value as Bulldog going forward. Chains of Corruption comes down yet again as aiming avoids the Magnet Storm gorgeously here. Beryl is going to stun up Dudu there on the side as well, or at least snare him. As Shiu just holding on to that front line. Roar of the Slayer comes in. Lucid gets the knockback on the Vault Breaker. And down goes Bulldog. Couldn't even use his ult. Didn't find the time. There's a knock up on Dudu as well. But DK looks like they can kind of do no wrong here in this game.
And DNF just not able to connect onto the right target. You saw that attempt to come in.
All right, unstoppable onslaught. Flash out there from Pureshik. Not able to play the baseball as, oh no. Seismic Shove collects Dudu and he's dead once again. The Keeper's verdict is in and no one cared. They didn't even check their letterbox. The verdict just goes unlistened to.
I think DNF probably starting to regret the fact they let this Varus go over to the other side. You know, the poke's coming out and they just feel like they can't get in range, can't deal with it. The movement speed as well, a factor here. You know what? Just send it.
Sometimes that is the way. Oh, R is available here from Shiu. Can just drive his way into this fight, but instead he's going to teleport.
I've seen Lucid steal these.
Yeah, Showmaker comes over. Is it even really a steal? As both junglers are just standing in front of this Otacon. The wall is going to get put up, and Pureshik is potentially on the wrong side of it. The Keeper's verdict comes down. He needs to knock away the jungler, but the unstoppable onslaught comes in. They do manage to take the Otacon, but at what cost, ladies and gentlemen? And maybe it's just the lives of all of them. Dudu gonna go down. Bulldog finds the shuffle, but the Sun Disc just gets torn up, and there is the ace, and it's clean from DK. Thinking about, you know, the Varus 5-1 and 5, looking for his 6th kill to hit 2.5k. If he gets this Infernal Soul, that's going to feel even more dangerous.
You have to send a Flash Gobble. It's the only way.
Yep, that's what it has to be. Look at Shiu's health bar. It is really too much. It's a bit ostentatious, to be honest. It's just really large. They do manage to shove him against the wall. Life is, I don't know where he's going.
They can get it.
Defecting. And that is going to be the dragon stolen away. But the Rel is also dead. They do manage to get the wall slam there as Pureshik taking so much damage. But so is Shiu, just flashes away. In the end, the cease and desist comes through as the shuffle is going to be used to get rid of Lucid Berserker though. And that's aiming. 2.5k kills, and he's going to look to augment that with perhaps even more. As Lucid dives forward towards Pureshik. There's a piercing arrow. 2.5k and 1. As Dudu's teleporting out, he wants nothing more of this game. Oh, there's the shove to get him out of the teleport. You ain't going anywhere, buddy, and we're gonna get the zoom.
The problem is the Baron is up. I don't think I just don't think you can contest the Baron.
Well, Dudu is also a Void monster, so they're going to look to take him down first. That is the first option. That's one of the smites down. Yeah. They technically can have 4 if Dudu was alive.
Which he isn't.
He's not. He's also 0-6, so it's not exactly all that dangerous.
I think D+ just move over to it and take it. I don't think you can even walk through this part of the jungle.
The one Dudu does have one that he's bringing from base, but the unstoppable onslaught. Bulldog, that's some quick little footsteps there, but not able to get out of the way of everything, and the seismic shove hits on both solo lanes. Down goes the Azir, down goes the Cho'Gath, and that's a free Baron going over to DK. This is a slaughter.
Not even close. Honestly, at this point, so much damage coming out from the carries from D+, just shredding. 0-7-0 right now on this Cho'Gath. He is not a tank, not in any way, shape, or form.
That's face check. There we go. Well, Shattering Strike is going to come on through there. Showmaker doing a lot of damage. He's got a death cap. Okay, that's probably why. As we don't get another Decimating Smash, Baron is going to go down. And DK can do basically anything and accidentally win.
Aiming even went Umbleblade to clear out the vision. That's how much they were choking vision out. And
well, I mean, there is 40 seconds on the Soul, but DK are like, well, we could do that, or we could do the Nexus killing thing.
You know what? Your base will respawn in the next game, so I guess they're just not
that is true. Because, yeah, not only do base, like Nexus turrets respawn, but Nexuses do respawn in the next game.
Yeah. This isn't the best of one, so maybe they just, this is called the Nexus sack.
Yeah. Yeah, sack Nexus, but maybe keep Nexus next game. As Showmaker able to avoid the Keeper's Verdict. And Pyosik can at least recharge that health bar momentarily. Beryl just having fun in the bouncy castle. As DNF underneath these next turrets. In goes Lucid, the seismic shove onto the entire team! And you blink, and 3 of them are dead. Bulldog gonna go down immediately afterwards as aiming all of the kills in the universe. He might hit 3K today as he picks up a triple here. Nexus turrets go down as well, and DK, yeah, they obliterate DNF here in game number 1.
Not even close!
Oh wait, they're gonna flex it into, also they changed their minds halfway through. I imagine it was initially thought of as being support rise, though. Does alleviate a bit of pressure here from Showmaker, forces Bulldog to play defensively. As in he comes once again, the flash forward. What? Huh?
It's that easy. You know, the point-and-click CC, Showmaker managing to get the flux on him for that route, and then Lucid follows up, an easy pickup on that kill.
Died at the next one as well.
I guess if he doesn't get the route up in time before you flash, then you should be fine.
Lucid is coming on over to see what Pyosik's up to, and it's a level 5 Trundle that's taken 50% of his health bar from this dragon. Lucid looking to come on in here. Might just be able to steal this one away, and he doesn't. It's actually just locked down there by Pyosik. 17 health on that dragon.
In a pinch can help, but in the middle of, like, you know, if Lucian's up in your face, often it can be...
Yeah, it doesn't feel powerful in the 2v2.
Yeah, it can be more problems than it actually solves in the moment if Lucian is auto-attacking you with Drawn Passive on you.
Well, seeing the Arcane Storm come down, Rune Prison, and so it's a difficult dive if they had have tried to go for it.
Double flash is being there.
Yeah, here's another flash forward as Bulldog going down solo. Deathmark is on, and he is dead.
This time,
is another one for Lucid.
Did get the flash off. Wasn't enough to save him. The ult from Zed comes in.
Plates that have been secured there on that top side of the map, and they might be looking to make it more as Lucid is going to come on over, is ultless. As we know, as Realm Warp is going to come in as well, and Life doesn't really know where to put the door, and he puts it the wrong direction. The heroic entrance to block the escape, and Pyosik absolutely nowhere to run. Does get a great pillar down to buy him some space, but it's only going to be a little bit of that as Lucid looking to follow through. And Pyosik might be able to go for some sort of execute play here, as Dawning Shadow is going to come down and he's dead. And so the kill just goes to aiming. The ulti and takes a turret shot as we've got Shiu having a pretty good time here towards this top side. What the heck? How did this start? As Life is also going to be dead. Is that just a double kill? It is likely to be. Is that some fancy footwork? As Lucid says, no, I'll take one.
All right, I'm laying down some new rules.
What's that? I don't see a watch. Like there's nothing here on the ground.
They
like,
are
you guys sure
with that
this is where you left it? And I think maybe it was just in the car the whole time.
Do I think it must be? Because watches are pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
If you drop a watch, you're going to notice it.
Or it's been stolen already.
Contact lens. That's why they're spending so. You drop a contact lens, it's hard to see. That's why they're spending so much time looking for it.
Definitely just get a new contact lens. It's going to be so dirty. These cues, like you were talking about, these resets, might be the angle. As DNF looking for the Rift Herald. So far, they have pretty good control of this area, as Harpoon will connect onto aiming. He's looking for a snare, does get it onto life. As they might need to look for a fight. Decent Glacial Fissure onto only Beryl, though. So that's a little unfortunate, as Lucid's going to turn up. Great equalizer placement. There's the exhaust onto Lucid, as the heroic entrance going to be there for Beryl. Double knockup does occur, but Lucid is out of the fight now. They take the Rift Herald. There goes the Zed and the Galio. Shiu is going to turn up. He's looking for the cleanup here, but all of DNF are still alive. Pyosik is flashing away now as the Realm Warp to try and get Showmaker in there. Doesn't quite find a Rune Prison, though, as he finally flashes for it, and they get the kill onto life. Berserker likely to go down as well, as Shiu will be able to find that one. And the follow-up kills are at least going to be there, and it's a double, in fact, for this Senna. I didn't see it, but apparently the Essence Reaver did some work.
For a moment there, it looked like DNF had hope. It looked like they'd found favor, but they were just too low. Couldn't escape from the fight. The chase potential, too much.
Got the Rift Herald, though.
Well, that's a consolation prize, but I'm not sure they're going to really feel good about that overall. Really watching that.
It was like the Shiu fan club looking real good.
Oh yeah.
At this point in time. As the Rift Herald going to help knock down this mid lane out of turret. Certainly good news here, as they're not going to be able to get into that one, as Life could be in a little bit of trouble at this point. DK, I think, looking for a bit of a scuffle. Shiu will be able to come on over. Let's see whether DK can lock down this turret as Rune Prison comes in once again. There's the double taunt from Beryl. Justice Punch to knock up the Victor. And Life is at least able to stand beside Berserker, but he's unable to save his Victor. And now Lucid setting up a shadow here, but doesn't really find too much. He's just zoning Dudu as best he can, as down goes Pyosik.
Very strong, but about to get a fair amount stronger when that Rod of Ages comes in and approaching level 16. Very close to 14 now. Probably will just get the level up straight. It's actually a pretty good angle. They are going to see it, but I think it's too late.
It is. So they should be able to take this out of turret, but there is still a Rumble that's able to throw down an ulti if he would like to. So this Otacon is definitely going over to DNF. And DK...
Okay, but how are you getting out?
Of Ages.
Yeah, he is so strong.
Yeah, Showmaker is going to be an absolute menace. Already has another needlessly large rod as Lucid starting off a fight 1v3. This could be dangerous here. How much can he mitigate with that death mark? Does manage to flash his way out. The equalizer's down, but it's mainly on his teammates as aiming is going to get turned on here. Dudu finding an angle, and down goes Beryl as well. DNF, they're incredibly low, but they're keeping themselves alive as Shiu. Not sure about that one. The Arcane Storm goes down as Dudu just walks it off. No worries. Dudu is also doing a decent amount back, but you can see DNF starting off this dragon. Lucid being frustrating as DK wanting to make their way in. Heroic Entrance going to be available there for Beryl, so he can be there in a moment's notice. And now the ulti comes through. Dudu gets in there. Showmaker with the Rabadons as he's now teleporting into the fight. Goshek down very, very low as Lucid is going to be able to secure that soul point. And the Aurora takes down the Rumble after the death mark works out beautifully. Arcane Storm not really doing enough here as Lucid still slinking around the back line. But DNF, they do repair the Phalanx. Right. And you've just got to stick with it. As aiming going to be camouflaging some people here as he wants to get in range to optimize his build. And that's why he's dead. Beryl going to look to make his way out. He will be able to do so as now Shiu's going to get exhausted as he enters the battle. Can they still find an angle here as these shurikens are really hurting from Lucid? Life almost dead here as Lucid dashing in once again.
Coming back.
Yeah, he was like, I'm playing Reinhardt. That's perfect. As Beryl, he's going to do the same thing here. Does find a nice double taunt though, as now Showmaker on a flank angle. Might be able to spread this damage, but it is just a dead Gargoyle. Now that he's dead though, they're still looking to engage. Equalizer goes down onto aiming, but look at this Showmaker. He's getting closed in on, but Lucid is there to try and protect. Showmaker finally taken down. And the kill goes over to Pyosik as well. Lucid, not a whole lot he can do about this. Doesn't have W up, and that is going to be him taken down. And aiming, this time, the only one alive.
Evolution, but the Braum value in these fights super high, supplying that passive to member after member.
Once again, we have a situation where the Baron has been started. There is a Rise that is saying, I'm going to go to
Life of Smite.
Nexus turret.
Life of Smite. If they lose a Smite fight, the game is probably over. I'm just going to say it.
Well, Shu is going to look for Bulldog, and that's the steal! He just goes in and he can go out if he wants to, but he decides he just wants to fight. As there's the death mark, that's going to secure the kill onto the Lucian at the same time. And Showmaker is winning the game, and now he's got Baron empowered minions. The ult stop the backs. The Dawning Shadow is going to stop all of them. And Showmaker here with his Rabadons is tearing apart these turrets. That's Nexus turret number 1, and at least here this year, the Nexus turrets respawn, but Showmaker has just decimated the base. He just got a bar here.
Yes.
And so we can sort of like, you know, try to work out what the vibes are throughout the game. Man, that would make things so fun. I think it's such a really good idea. A less good idea is here, what Life is doing, which was dying.
Yep.
It is going to be aiming, picking up the kill there, Redemption, to fill up these health bars once again. And yeah, unfortunately, you do need to get vision down.
Oh, the Realm Warp, the redirect towards mid to catch the wolves, obviously.
To catch the wolves?
Yeah, I guess there's a tower there too, which maybe they want to kill, but...
Showmaker was like, they've got 2 heads, man. You can't trust them. It's all right, aiming. Try and look for Bulldog here, as doesn't really. He's just going to look for the turret instead. Going to be able to take that one down. Infinity Edge is completed here for the Senna. And I think it's probably the build that really allowed DK to pull this game back into their favor.
Swung in favor of D+. A lot of damage just under the base. Showmaker is killing Bulldog.
Bulldog is very, very dead. Big time dead. Flashes away from his team and everything. Meanwhile, there's another fight happening here in this mid lane as Lucid on a flank angle. Dudu comes in, Dawning Shadow to keep the entire team alive. Deathmark is going to come through as now Lucid is in amongst all of it. And the snare from the center hits 4! And that is just going to be the ace. That just kind of looked like DNF just wanted to get out of here.
The cleanup comes in and it's absolute decimation from D+. Gonna be a clean 2-0. There were some moments for DNF, but the clutch steal from Lucid and Showmaker just kind of stomping on this game.
Yeah, 6-1 and 6 on this rise. As DK, they clear out these Nexus turrets and it's a comfortable 2-0. DNF not breaking the streak here today.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.